He's also a registered dietitian and has his master's of public health in nutritional biochemistry. You can find him at ShawnWells.com and on Instagram at ZoneHalo. We're talking about metformin and natural alternatives for blood sugar management and anti-aging. So how great is that? I didn't even know.
Yeah. Well, and continuing what we were talking about before the break, we got into high glycemic carbohydrate is a big factor in the rise of diabetes. But there's the other two things that I would say have contributed to this is overeating. Again, like Bliss Point Foods, engineered foods as part of our ultra-processed food supply.
Yeah.
And the other thing is lack of exercise and not being as active. There's data that shows after you eat, if you just walk for 10 minutes, it can like counteract almost all the effects of this that I'm talking about. Just walking for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But
how hard is that?
We sit and,
that's another reason to get a dog.
Right.
Walk
exactly.
Your dog.
That's a huge, absolutely. The dog thing is actually huge.
But don't use your dog just for that. You got to give him a good home.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, that's a great point. But how many people just sit on the couch and eat, or they flop down and on the couch after they eat, or whatever it is? But most of us, especially when we eat in the evening, stay very inactive. I mean, even when we eat lunch during the day, like it's sitting at a desk, or we just don't move enough.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't. Well, and one of the reasons, though, connected to the food as well, is the GMOs have been linked to depression as well. When you're depressed, you don't want to get out and exercise. You're depressed. You want to lay around, and then you eat more and you drink more of the bad stuff. And, it's kind of like success begets success, and loserhood begets loserhood.
Yeah.
So
exercise is antidepressant.
Yes,
right?
it is. It's all connected. And so, but, for people that don't know, Metformin. How long is this? Dr. Tuleman said it's been around forever, and it's a very cheap drug.
Extremely cheap. It was discovered in like the 20s. It was introduced in France as a medication in the 50s, and in the United States in 1995. It's been listed on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines.
Really?
It's extremely safe overall, to the point that Lexi brought up earlier. One of the biggest things is just... Yeah,
but why? What does it do? Is it bad for your gut? I have to question that. If it makes you have a lot of, flatulence.
It affects absorption of glucose is one of the mechanisms that's happening. It has multiple mechanisms that it's working on. And one of the other side effects that's kind of newer as a result of that is it may affect B12 absorption, which can lead to elevated homocysteine levels, which puts you at risk for cardiovascular disease potentially.
Oh, wow.
It's not clear whether that's cause and effect, or that just homocysteine and cardiovascular disease are correlated, but they are correlated. So the easiest thing to do is, there's been studies with metformin where they take additional B vitamins and all that's negated. So I would say if you're using metformin, that's just one thing to throw in there.
That's important to know. I wonder if medical doctors tell their patients that.
Not very often.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and it's also popular with anti-aging. How does that work?
Yeah. So with anti-aging, I mean, we know that blood sugar damage is one of the main mechanisms of aging. It's called glycation. We also know that inflammation is related to aging, and when you have a more obese individual, you have excess adipose tissue, you have more inflammation. Chronically elevated insulin and IGF, which is insulin-like growth factor, are both correlated to aging. And when you have diabetes, you have chronically elevated insulin. Another factor in aging is reduced cellular detox cleanup called autophagy. You might have heard of that's kind of a hot thing that people are talking about that fasting helps with. So that's another thing. We're not fasting as much. We're always eating all day long because we're having this crash, and we're hungry and crash, and we're hungry and get our high glycemic carbohydrate fix and then crash. And mitochondrial dysfunction is another factor in aging. And all these things I just went through, glycation, inflammation, oxidation, which is free radical damage, elevated insulin, the cellular detox issue, the mitochondrial dysfunction, Metformin actually addresses all of them.
Really?
So it's literally
I'll take some Metformin over here.
it's kind of the wonder drug, if you will, and that's why it started with diabetes, and it was profound there, but it's really gone on to become the darling of the anti-aging world.
Wow, I didn't know. We're like cutting edge over here. But I know you as a formulator feel that berberine is a better option. Yes? No?
I do. Exactly. So that it's really exciting that there's actually data where in one study it's been shown to go head-to-head with metformin. In another study, they took berberine and actually compared it to a bunch of the other oral agents like Avandia, these other popular ones. And it's always been shown to be at parity or better than all of these oral agents. So, of course we say, well, why is that? Why aren't we using berberine? Of course, it's obvious, right? Because it can't be patented, and
right? So you can't.
And
yeah.
there's drugs out there.
Are there foods with berberine in them? Where does berberine come from?
So one of the best sources of berberine is golden seal, which you may have heard about for immunity. It's very popular, been used for years for immunity and improving like your outcome with colds or sickness.
Thank you for the reminder. I'm going to get some.
Yeah, exactly.
So does golden seal have berberine in it naturally? Naturally?
It does. But you want to get about 500 milligrams of berberine, so that would be a concentrated amount. So it's easier to just buy berberine. And you want to take it about 3 times a day with any carbohydrate-containing meal. I still take it even on keto because there's actually data that shows that the lower your hemoglobin A1C level, which is your longer-term indicator of blood glucose. It's better than using glucose because glucose moves around so much.
Yeah.
To look at hemoglobin A1C, the lower that is, the longer people live. I mean, that's just been shown, period. And inflammation is tied to hemoglobin A1C, and we've talked about CRP as the inflammation marker.
Yeah.
But they kind of go hand in hand. So the lower your blood glucose, the lower your hemoglobin A1C, the lower your inflammation, the longer you live. And I take berberine for those reasons. That I'm
getting some tonight.
Even if I'm not eating that much carbs, I like what I'm getting from that I'm reducing my inflammation, that I'm lowering my hemoglobin A1C, I've shown, this is really cool, I've shown that with just berberine, my ketone levels increased. Because as your blood glucose decreases, your ketones tend to increase.
Yeah.
So I've actually shown that just berberine in and of itself improved my ketone levels, and I feel more focused and energized and all those kinds of things. So
the keto
really
diet
cool.
is so popular.
And when I do my cheats on keto and I have my high carb meals, I think cheats kind of a dumb word because I plan it out and it's fine to have carbs. I just plan when to use them strategically, and carbs have a purpose. It's just, do I choose the right carbs? Do I time them right? And when I have them, I have berberine with them. And again, I've shown that like even when I have cake and candy and things like that, my blood sugar is barely affected. Check this out.
I got a candy bar. How'd you like that candy? Okay,
good.
I'm going to give a shout out for this candy bar because Elizabeth told me about it. Anyway, her and Daniel, I think, might go on a date. We're trying.
Oh yes. I know all about that.
Okay. Anyway, so she's on the keto diet, and she came last Thursday night. We had a salad and drank some wine and just talked about, stuff. And she brought this Simply Light, a dark chocolate with almond bar with her. It's fine chocolate candy bar. It's got no added sugar, and it's net effective carbs, only 2 grams. So this is keto friendly, isn't it?
Yes.
45%. And I'm telling you, it was so good.
Yeah, it's
and
delicious.
I'm pretty picky about my chocolate. I really am. And so Simply Light, I got it. I don't know where else you can get it, but I got mine at Trader Joe's. So
yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah. Delicious and nutritious.
I got some mind-blowing numbers when we get back from the break that will blow your mind about how effective berberine is.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Shots of berberine for everyone. We'll be right back. You're listening to One Life Radio.
I can't wait.
She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little lover boy. Yeah, I love my baby, my heart and soul. Love like eyes I want.
Consider this an invitation to relax and feel the stress melt away with a Sunlighten sauna. Sunlighten is the #1 choice for home and commercial infrared saunas. Their 3-in-1 infrared technology allows you to customize each session to you. Naturally de-stress, detoxify, and be heart healthy. Relieve pain, purify your skin, and increase energy. A Sunlighten sauna is a place to heal, a place to reflect, a place to invest in you. Visit them at sunlighten.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Grace, co-founder of Hemp Company. Hemp CBD improved my life so much that I started a company to help others naturally feel better. You don't have to have had a severe brain injury like me to benefit from Hemp Company products. If you're struggling to feel better, calm your brain, or better deal with daily stress and want to do so naturally, please try Hemp Company products. Search Hemp Company and use code OLR for 20% off and free shipping. That's Hemp Company and code OLR to feel better naturally and calm your brain.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette. Do you know why I love Paleo Magazine? Paleo Magazine was founded with the purpose of providing readers with the information they need to live strong, vibrant, healthy lives. They are dedicated to partnering with leaders in the paleo community to spread the knowledge of ancestral health principles without the influence of big pharma or big agriculture. Paleo Magazine. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, or visit them at paleomagonline.com. That's paleomagonline.com.
Hey, this is Shawn Wells of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. One Life Radio is proud to partner with the ISSN. The ISSN is the world's leading scientific organization dedicated to the science of supplements and sports nutrition. For their latest conferences and events, go to the ISSN.org. That's the ISSN.org.
Sun Warrior believes that plants provide the cleanest and most powerful foods, rich in antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and phytonutrients. Our bodies crave real foods, especially in this age where we heavily process everything we eat, stripping out all of the benefits and nutrition well before we have a chance to even use them. Illuminate your body, mind, and the planet with Sun Warrior. To learn more, visit them at sunwarrior.com. That's sunwarrior.com.
Did you know there are over 3,000 kinds of snakes? And most, being shy, pose no threat to humans, but they are still feared and killed even for frivolous fashion. In his poem Snake, D.H. Lawrence marvels at a snake drinking from a water trough. He succumbs to irrational fear and impulsively throws a log at the very animal he admired moments before. He writes, "And immediately I regretted it. I thought how paltry, how vulgar, what a mean act. I despised myself and the voices of my accursed human education, and I wished he would come back, my snake, for he seemed to me again like a king in exile, uncrowned in the underworld." This is Ingrid Newkirk with Peter, reminding us it's easy to be kind by choosing fake snake over real skin for belts, bags, and shoes.
I hold you in my arms. It's a band play.
Welcome back to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with Diamond Gray. I've got all the gang in here and Shawn Wells. For those of you just now joining us, Shawn Wells is a certified sports nutritionist and fellow through the very prestigious International Society of Sports Nutrition. You can find him at ShawnWells.com and on Instagram at Zone Halo. He is a registered dietitian and has his Master's of Public Health in Nutritional Biochemistry, and he's also the world's greatest formulator. Before we continue, though, I want to give my shout-outs to our sponsors because they bring this programming to you. These are great companies that help us get this information to you. Great companies like Sun Warrior and Sunlighten Saunas, the Hemp Company. Use the code OLR for 20% off your first order. Paleo Magazine, the Wellbeing Journal, and the International Society of Sports Nutrition. Go to iHeartMedia.com to listen live from your mobile device or download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to us from anywhere in the world. Or go to our website, oneliferadio.com, to listen to the podcast or the podcast after the broadcast, and subscribe to our monthly newsletter. We're going to do it once a month now.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
I do, because we can put more power into it.
I want to have berberine on there because I think the whole
We
world
are,
should
you know
be on
what?
it.